What's up, guys? It's your boy Mike Ultra. I'm here with my cousine Danny, and this is the 10th episode, but actually the first episode.
Or the
So,
10.5
welcome. We'll explain in a
episode.
minute. The second take of the 10th episode. That is really the first episode, but we'll explain in a second. Welcome to the Pretty Foolish Podcast.
Mike, congratulations, man. This is our fucking, it's like our third birthday, but like the third iteration. 10 episodes in, 10.5, 11, depending on how you want to count it. I fucked up. I'll take ownership. Some shit went wrong. I own it.
Technical difficulties.
I mean, it happens, man. I'm glad
it does.
It didn't happen. Like, we've had 10 really solid episodes, and I tried something new.
It didn't happen when we had a guest.
Yeah, like Candy. I'd be so apologetic, but it seems the world didn't want this to happen. So we did what we always do and said fuck it and did it anyway. We're fucking doing it anyway.
I'll be honest with you.
Please do. After years of friendship, I'd hate for you to lie. It would hurt.
I don't mind doing it a second time. And honestly, it's nighttime now. So this is a night pod.
It's a night pod.
You know? Night pods, they hit different, bro.
I had to break out different lights. Like, it couldn't just be like one light. There's like light behind me now. Like, it's a whole fucking, I literally had to come in here like 15 minutes early and be like, how does this fucking supposed to watch? I watched so many YouTube videos on like YouTube lighting to make sure like you're sharp and contrast and shit. Like, a lot of fucking work goes into this that a lot of people don't appreciate.
I'll be honest with you. I noticed the lighting, and I have to say, it's like you're shooting two different porn movies. The first one being like an actual set for like Vivid, and this one is like in a Motel 6 off a highway in like, like South Carolina, like $30 a night, pay by the hour. Like,
no, bro,
two different movies.
I had these like two, like, there's literally like a variety of light I can use. Like, it's crazy. Like, the lighting game on Amazon was fucking ridiculous. I don't even know which one I
picked. The fuchsia light, I feel like someone should be like, there should be a girl with really bad skin on the other side of your window in Cookie Monster pajamas smoking a fucking Newport that she bummed from someone else.
Nice. This reminds me of like, if I was living in the world where The Strangers took place, this might be the setup. Like, I have a really cheesy like podcast setup, and like somebody's being murdered in the other room, or like fucking walking around behind me, and I'm paying no attention.
It's like the dorm room of like an Ivy League school for a kid who shouldn't be there, but like his daddy's a senator, so that's why he goes there.
That makes sense. So like Skulls meets Urban Legend.
Very George W. Bush just going to Harvard or Yale or wherever the fuck it was, because his daddy was like somebody.
A W.
Dude, remember when we went to Disney that time, or Universal?
Yes.
Me, you, and Mike Ruffalo, when we met those girls.
Mm-hmm. Be careful what part of the story you tell right now, because there are some parts that...
Oh, I'm not telling that whole story.
Okay.
Everyone was... Well, we all were of age. Let's just put that way. This is a non-sex story, by the way.
Great. You have so few
I feel like they would have a bedroom with that lighting.
That's remarkably accurate. I mean, we haven't seen them. I think, how old was I? I think we were 19, 18?
19.
20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years.
I'm glad you had a flashback.
Yeah,
but
they could be dead. They might be dead.
I mean, I'm going to say 70-30 dead. It's definitely one of them.
Their brother would be 29 now. Their little brother would be 29.
I'd pump
let that sink in.
I'd pump some brakes on that for a second. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm not telling the rest of that story.
Why the fuck did we choose to rebrand the podcast? I think we have a really intriguing story about why we chose to do it, because like we started off with like food and movies, and then it was like food and movies.
Because that's what we know.
But then we went to movies, which I think consume most of our intellect is movies. But like, I just feel like we had Candy on, and I feel like Candy was a huge hit. I loved her. She was so...
Yeah, she was a great guest.
She was so like diverse in her talk track that I was like, you know what? I was just sitting there one day and I'm like, yo, I think restricting us to just film actually hurts, because we have so much useless information that we could benefit the world with, that like, why not give back?
And not for nothing, like just it's me and you talking. So film is gonna come up like at some point anyhow. Why force it, you know?
Why? There's no need to force it in film. None.
Yeah. And honestly, like Pretty Foolish works because we're kind of fools, but in a good way. And if anybody even wants to be a guest on this show, they're pretty foolish themselves. Everyone's foolish.
Everybody's got a little bit of
Tomfoolery
crazy.
all the way around.
It's such a
Yeah,
good word.
tomfoolery all the way
That's
around.
a term that doesn't get enough fucking burn. Tomfoolery, foolhardy.
Foolhardy's a good one.
So, bro,
Foolhardy's a good one.
catch me up, dude. Like, I know, like, truth be told, this is the second take, but who gives a fuck? What was the week like for you? How's the little man doing? Like, I'm always curious to know because being far kind of sucks sometimes.
Sometimes it sucks all the time, dude.
Most of the time. I mean, we're getting good weather up here, so it's not fucking terrible, but it's not
it was
great
82 today.
Fuck off. It was 63 here and it felt like 82.
Yeah. Today was a pool day.
Oh, that's at least like 2 months away here. Bro.
Honestly, you can do pool days like on my birthday, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. Like it was like 70 something. Like you could have conceivably went in the pool. I went in the pool on Christmas.
Fuck off.
So yeah.
Really?
But yeah. I mean not like the whole day, but for a little bit. Like when I was waiting for like Christmas dinner and shit.
Bro.
But I'll be honest with you. So I don't know. You ever heard of like Jim Valvano? He does the Jimmy V Fund they do on like ESPN every year for cancer research.
No. Sadly, I do
not. Well,
not.
he has a very famous quote that I'm not even going to try and butcher.
Is
but
this
he
something
says basically like, no, it's three things. Like if you laugh.
I thought it was like you were throwing up a gang sign or something.
No, that would be like this. He said if you laugh, if you cry, and if you do something else, I forget what the other thing is. You've had like a full day.
So it's like the full range of like emotional spectrum shit.
Yeah, like
okay.
It's and I don't know if I told you this before, but like having kids like makes you like super soft and like I was just like playing with Lucas today and he was just like sitting like on my lap, his like feet on my chest. He was leaning up against me on my phone, like playing like some game on my phone, which I hate that he does. You know, like he like goes crazy for the phone.
Bro, they're hardwired.
We really don't give it to him that often. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna lose him to the phone in like 7 years anyway. We try not to give it to him, but my parents give it to him when he's like acting up, and I guess they're just like watching him.
Really expensive.
But he just looks so cute with his little face, and he was like trying to figure it out. And he was like, you know, a little Michael Jordan tongue out, and I just like teared up. And I find that when I look at him, I tear up a lot because he's so perfect. And I never would have thought like I'd be that guy. I was used to just crying at like movies, but now I just cry looking at my kid. It's funny though. I'll watch him do things, and they're so like they do things. They're like dogs almost, bro. Like, you ever like look at a dog and watch it do something? You're like, that's really fucking people like what you just did. They do. Babies do things like very adult like.
So really strange. Like, you might understand this because you're more of a dog lover than I am. But like when I lived in Germany, my uncle's dog had fucking eyebrows, and I know that sounds weird, but there was like a tint of black above the dog's eyes. So whenever it would do that weird shit that dogs' eyes do, it would look more human because there was like an eyebrow effect to it.
Oh yeah, dude.
So like it's weird. It gave her more personality, and the fact that I lived with the dog for 3 months is shocking enough for me. But like it's crazy that you mentioned that because obviously like I love Lucas to death. Like it you know, one of the things that bothers me the most about you living down there is that I can, you know, I'm an uncle in name, but like not in presence, which kind of sucks. But one thing that's really important is that was actually one of the inspirations for the Switch. Like I was sitting at fucking Dunkin' Donuts one day and I told you the story that like that movie, The Change Up, right? Like
Dunkin' Donuts, no Starbucks.
Bro, no, fuck Starbucks. Nah, Dunkin' Donuts dead, bro. I don't give a shit. Fuck Starbucks.
Fucking Tim Hortons.
What am I, Canadian? They have like one in the United States and it's in Jersey. But yeah, they finally opened one in the continental United States, even though they're still part of the continental.
They're on their way.
But no, so I was thinking about that movie while I ordered the coffee, and I was like, it's weird because like I feel like I'm very Jason Bateman, you're very Ryan Reynolds, except you had the kid. and I had the career. So it was almost like it makes sense, except for the family component. And like you definitely you got me to it. You have little Lucas, little LPH running around like a maniac.
And
Doing
don't forget, I have the abs as well. So
sure.
yeah, there's
And you're a
that.
bra. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But
I
bro,
mean,
like
not for nothing, dude. It's like I said, it's just so intriguing to like watch him do shit. Like he'll be sitting there like watching TV and he'll like just like cross his feet for like no reason, just because it's like more comfortable for him. And it's like just like a person thing to do. Like I know he's a person, but like it's like such a like a small like insignificant thing he does that like makes him like look like grown up. You know, or like when he gets a haircut and he's like his hair is like combed a certain way.
a
He just
little
looks
suave,
like a little man. Yeah.
little extra swagger than usual.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
likes haircuts, dude. He gets a little skin fade on the side. They, a little comb over. He's getting a haircut on his birthday, actually. Yeah, he likes
One
it.
day, I want you to get that boy a tape up, please. For the
Yeah,
love.
when he gets older, his hair actually will. His hair is going to change. They said don't do anything crazy with it. I wanted to like grow it out to like man bun or something like cool, and they were like, wait until he's like 5. They were like because he still has baby hair until he's like 4 or 5.
It's
They were like,
super thin. You'll never get that in
yeah,
a fucking tie. But yo,
yeah,
it's
it
super
is.
weird. Like I guess like now that I'm 38, you're 39, even though you're gonna start saying you're 40, I will still say I'm 38 until
I'm
November.
40.
Like not having a kid, like it's not really as big of a deal for me, but I find that like I'm doing things like I've definitely hit like a shift in maturity
Mm-hmm.
that like I feel like should have matched my timing with the kid. It's like there's like this fucking inherent biological thing that's supposed to change in you when you have a kid. Like Rebecca has it because like she had a kid, but like I find that like I have like a different kind of energy for different types of things. Like I still have no patience for most people, which is weird because I work with people. But like that's kind of like where this whole like idea came from to like start taking care of myself in a different level because I don't know. I just feel like it's not like an incomplete feeling, but it's like there's something else I want to do, and it's just been really tough to like put a finger on that. You know what I'm saying? Which is really weird.
I mean, dude, listen, guys can have look at Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. They're like 1,000. They just had babies like a couple of months ago.
I'm not
Like
gonna
you can
lie,
have
they
a kid at
probably
any time.
thought that their mechanics didn't work anymore, and they were just like, "Fuck it," and they both
But
found
they're
out.
dating like 29-year-old women. I mean, dude, like those girls are young. Like they get pregnant by looking at them. I
Yeah,
mean,
biologically they can, but like realistically, I mean, these are two of the legends of our parents' generation and our generation. But like, they shouldn't be shooting straight. But you know,
like,
good for
oh, dude,
them.
that's buckshot. It's going everywhere, kid.
I
And
can't believe they
I
both
listen.
had kids. Yeah, that's wild.
I'm telling you, you never know. Maybe you want to have a kid one day. And it's funny you say the patience thing because I know a lot of people who like don't have kids or like had kids like later, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have the patience." Bro, you've known me like most of my life. I don't have patience for anything. I have unlimited patience for him. Like I can count on like one hand, how many times he's like frustrated me to the point where I like wanted to like throw something. And it's usually not him. It's usually a situation I'm in with him, and it's just hard to do that task because I have him. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like you're trying to like there are times like you'll get like a box of diapers. And it's like, all right, I'm gonna get the box of diapers out of the car while I'm trying to get him out of the car. And it's like, fuck, like I can't like do those two things at once, but I also can't make 2 trips because I don't want to leave him in the house by himself. That's when it gets like frustrating. But like he's a little guy. His brain is a blank slate. Nothing he does is on purpose. And the things he does on purpose because he doesn't know any better. Like like when he bites me, he thinks it's funny. He doesn't realize he's hurting,
yeah,
and I want to wring his neck for like 2 seconds. But he just thinks it's funny because I play bite with him, Allie play bites with him. So when he does it, he doesn't know that he's like not supposed to put that much force, and he leaves a mark. And when you're like, "Ow," he laughs because he doesn't know that you're like, "Fuck," like you fucking
yeah.
bit me,
No,
you
that
little
makes sense.
animal, like you know.
How many teeth does he have now? You're definitely looking at his mouth.
Bro, he's almost full.
That's wild, bro.
His mouth is almost full, dude. Once you get like the first two, they come in like wildfire, dude.
Bro, I remember when little man was fucking teething, like when you were still up in New York, and like the first ones were starting to like poke through before you guys left.
Yeah. It gets
So
easier, honestly. The first like handful for him, we were constantly putting orange gel in his mouth and he would cry and cry. And now like he'll have one popping up and you'll just notice because he'll start like chewing on his finger or he'll start chewing on his pacifier instead of sucking on it. And like we're starting to like wean him off like in a couple months from it, just because it fucks up their teeth if you don't do it like before like a certain age.
Yeah, you'll
Like makes
start
like he
like I
has like
remember.
they call a lip tie.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
It's the skin right here.
Oh, oh, that little
It's
fucking
like
flap
yeah, it's
shit.
why he has a gap in his teeth. Yeah, the doctor said that he's a little bit too young. He doesn't want to put him under because they got to put him under now. We should have did it when he was an infant because they could have clipped it and he probably wouldn't have like they would have given him like a local. But now because of his age and he wouldn't sit still, they'd have to put him under. And the dentist is like, "I'll do it if you want to." He's like, "But I wouldn't put my own kid under to do it." He goes, "It's not necessary unless it starts messing up his speech or whatever, or if he was eating and he was sticking food under there and he wasn't chewing it right." But that's why he has the gap in his teeth, is because the tongue tie is right, the lip tie is right there. So, but honestly, they were like, they fall so often, he might just do it himself
So
because
much.
they fucking try to run everywhere. So they fall all the time.
Yeah, bro.
It's dangerous being a baby.
I have a hole in my head courtesy of being a child that spun and hit the edge of a coffee table. My left ear split open when I was a kid, also a coffee table. Back in the day, they didn't really like childproof things, like, which is what is shocking that we're alive. It was like literally edge of glass slit my fucking ear right up. And I don't remember much about that night. I remember being in a car, my uncle like holding my ear because I was fucking bleeding all over the place. I'm sure I was fucking crying. And that was
Oh,
the
without a
first time
doubt.
I ever got stitches.
Dude, my son does nothing but try to kill himself on a regular basis. He jumps up on the couch. He jumps up on a chair. He jumps up on it like it's a fucking trampoline. And if he goes flying off into the hardwood floor, he's gonna crack his head open. He doesn't care at all. And I remember when I was speaking of the not baby proofing shit, my grandmother had a marble table, fucking Italian marble table, old school from like the fucking 40s. And it had a point on all fours, a rectangle table. I
Yeah,
fell and hit that right here, dude. I almost went fucking blind. And I had a black eye on one of my birthdays, and nobody put my parents in jail.
bro.
Like it looked like they beat the living shit out of me.
Do you know what's really funny? Like Rebecca's been fucking telling me because like she's been on like TikTok and shit, and like there's this thing going around the
Oh,
internet.
that shit's gonna end.
Yeah,
That
it's
shit's ending.
that I do have some notes on that I definitely want to share. But like, there's this thing going around TikTok right now that like, depending on like what generation you were born in, like Gen Z, millennials, and all that shit, like the newer generation is actually aging worse than we are, and we're actually aging like super fucking well. And like, one of the points that I made before, but I'm gonna bring it back for classic rerun right now because nobody fucking heard it except you. But when I did the fucking math, and I know you had some math on this shit too, and I thought it was wild, like me being 38, you being 39 right now, the fact that James Gandolfini was 35 in season 1 of Sopranos, bro, I found that shit out. My fucking head exploded. Bro,
Well, he always looked older.
he like played a 42-year-old man until he was 51 and then he croaked, but like, bro, and then there's the other one too that I had mentioned before when they took the fucking Golden Girls and they were in their 50s and then they put them like a side fucking view against J-Lo and Shakira from the fucking Super Bowl. Like 50 then, 50 now, and like what it looks like. It's wild how like gracefully we're aging,
Oh yeah.
despite
Well,
the
dude, I
fact
mean,
that everything fucking tried
fitness
to kill us back in the day.
fitness is like crazy more like scientific and popular than it was back then. And not for nothing
But they were
too.
thinner
Like,
than us too, like which doesn't make sense. Like I've heard
well, everybody's
metabolically, we can't get back to that level of thin that like our parents was in the 80s, which is probably something to do with illicit
cocaine.
substances. Yeah, I was gonna try
I
that.
mean, it's possible, but dude, a lot of people smoked like from like the age of 12 until they like died in like their 60s or 70s. Like our generation really like they smoked in high school. They smoked at bars when they were like in their 20s. Now, like I don't even know anybody who legitimately smokes cigarettes. I know people who vape,
You know
but
what's
like
weird? I wonder if like,
I think that's a big factor too, because that shit fucking ages you, bro.
bro, the new fucking generation, I wonder if it's like they're like I do plant-based like twice a week, like that's kind of part of like my diet now. But I wonder if like all the plant-based shit is like fucking with their aging process because I've seen like 20-year-olds, like 20, 21-year-olds that literally look like they're in their late 20s, early 30s. Like you shouldn't be looking 10 years ahead. Like I would never be able to pass for 48 right now. Ever. Nobody in their
No,
right mind would fucking say I'm 48 years old.
I get people who tell me they think I'm like in my early 30s. I don't know if they're just pulling my leg or if it's true, especially if I shave. I don't know. I mean, Dude, all right, so I got one for you. I mean, Gandolfini always looked a little older because he always had like the receding hairline.
Who?
So he always like kind of like played older than he was.
Who
But
is
do you
this?
remember the show Cheers?
Yeah, of course. Everybody
Fucking
knows
John
who it is.
Ratzenberger, fucking Cliff the Mailman. The first season of that, I think he's supposed to be like 33 or 34. Like that dude looks 50. Like it's just you're right. Like 34 in 1982 is way different than 34 in 2022.
Bro, I don't.
Like 100%.
It's weird. Like I feel like the other part of this too, like even at like family functions, like people will still call me like my dad's kid. And like I understand like biologically I'm still my dad's son, but like no like court in the world would call me a kid anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Right.
it's weird how like we still have this stigma that we're kids, but like we're pushing 40.
Well,
And
yeah. Well, the people calling you kids will always remember you as a kid because they took care of you.
they should do
You know what I
themselves
mean?
a favor and recognize
Fuck
growth
off,
because
right?
not for
Fuck
nothing, you're
off with
probably
that
still
kid
judging me for
shit.
some dumb shit I did when I was fucking 22. That shouldn't matter. Like it shouldn't matter anymore.
So speaking of fucking Golden Girls, bro. So me and Allie love that show. It gives me like good memories of like my grandmothers. Like I used to watch it with them whenever like they would babysit me, like or I'd stay over their house on the weekends. It was on Saturdays. I
Mm,
remember. Bro, have you ever like fantasy casted like that show? Like you ever like watched the show and like fantasy casted it in your head if they like did a reboot?
I have not, but I'm not gonna
No?
lie.
Okay,
I
check this
feel like
out.
you're really good at this. Like, and we definitely cited
I
this last
try.
week with the Instagram account with the fucking Marvel movie. So I feel like this is actually a fun play to shit to do now. So who do you
Check
have?
this out.
Okay.
So for Dorothy, originally played by B. Arthur, I got Jane Lynch. I think she's the only person who's like tall, gray hair, and can pull off the dry sense of humor.
Yeah,
Um,
she's such a wide range like she's good at so many different things, bro. So
dude,
I
she's so funny on the Weakest Link. I'm not even gonna lie, she's hilarious on that shit. All right, so I'm gonna go a little against the grain because it's 2024, so we have to diversify. Um, I'm gonna hit you with um Wanda Sykes as Rose instead of like the Betty White character. I feel like she could pull off that like ditzy, like got a story for everything,
but like be a smart ass at
like
the same
small
time.
town girl, you know.
That would work.
Um,
Wanda Sykes is such a sleeper because I feel like you don't use her name until it comes up, but when it comes up, it's spot on. And that's just not like
oh, dude,
you.
and
Like
she has a great voice too.
that's fucking Hollywood. Like Hollywood conveniently places Wanda Sykes at places that she needs to be for her to have the most fucking impact ever. It's wild.
Absolutely, and that could be like a whole like other joke. Is that like she's a black woman from Minnesota? Like you wouldn't think like you know what I mean? Like that's not the
Mm.
first thing you think of. You think of like people who are like Fargo. Like you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
because
Like that would be like a whole like funny thing that I think they'd have a lot of fun with. Um Rhea Perlman as fucking Sophia.
okay.
And I think I want to go either like Lucy Liu or
Mm.
like a spicy Latina for Blanche.
Ooh.
I
I
don't
feel,
know.
I feel I
Mix it
feel
up a
your
bit.
spicy Latina vibe though. I do. I think that
Well, you
makes a
know who
lot of
would be
sense.
perfect?
Who?
You ever watched the George Lopez show?
Of course.
His wife. She
Ooh.
plays in that show a Cuban from Miami, even though they're in Long
You
Island,
don't
and
think
she
like
could literally be a Cuban from Miami
a
in that show.
Sofia Vergara would actually make sense?
Okay, so I love Sofia Vergara, but I feel like her accent is too OD. I feel like it would just be like that would be the constant joke is that they don't understand what the fuck she's saying. I just feel like that's all it would be.
Yeah.
I
No.
don't know.
Like I've always wondered if she emphasized it, but no, I think it's like a naturally flowing accent. Like that's the way she speaks. She
But she could work too. I mean, I'm not against it. I just feel like there'd be way too many accent jokes. I don't know. Maybe that
Bro,
would work in its favor.
do you know that there's some actors that have like changed their accents so much that they've actually had to work to get their original accent back? Like Gary
Oh, dude, I'm
Oldman,
convinced every actor is British. Everyone's British.
bro, I found out Gary Oldman had to like he did so many American movies in a row. He had to hire like a speech coach to get his English accent back because he had lost it fucking completely.
That's insane, dude. That's fucking wild. Dude, how is every actor British? You have no idea. But you always know when an American is trying to be British, like fucking Bridget Jones's Diary.
Bro, who was it?
I
Sam
love
Neill.
those movies, but she's fucking. I
Bro,
don't know.
I thought Sam Neill was like a diehard American, and to find out he's like New Zealand, like
Yeah.
almost as far as you could fucking go left.
Oh yeah, dude. Look at
Wild.
fucking Tom Holland as Spider Man. If you have never like heard him speak, would you ever think that that kid was fucking English?
No, but you know what's funny? I would have thought Timothy Chalamet was, and he's not.
Yeah. See, he looks like he could be.
He
He's
looks like he
French.
fucking should be. I know.
Is he Canadian French or
He's
French
Canadian
French?
French. No, he's Canadian French.
Oh,
I didn't
where would the
realize he was in
actual French
Interstellar. I
people?
watched Interstellar again the other day,
He's
and
the kid. He's the
he is the
son.
kid. I
Yeah,
think that was like one
he's
of his
not
like,
Murph. He's the other one. He's
bro,
he's younger Casey Affleck.
he rocked it in fucking Dune 2. Have you fucking seen it yet?
I saw it the day last week. We talked about
Bro,
it Sunday. As soon as I got off the fucking Zoom with you and Candace, I went right to see that.
bro, that is a movie that
Crushed it.
I'm so happy. Like Dune, like anything Denis Villeneuve, I will never wait for it to go streaming. Like most movies I will, but like for a Villeneuve movie, like I'm gonna see it the way it's intended to be seen. Maybe not at
Oh,
like when
dude.
we went to Lincoln Center, that was dope. I saw it at like an iPic, so I had like a pod. I ate some
Yeah.
fucking hummus while I did it. Like it was a party, but
That's so weird that you ate hummus and watched Dune. That's such a weird thing to say.
what
I tried to see.
is there a
I tried.
correlation between like hummus and fucking sand? Like
I
what is
don't know. It's just the last thing I ever thought of. I'm gonna go watch this like sci-fi action movie in a theater and eat hummus. Like it's just I don't know.
you know, there's still a fucking
Yeah, I don't
fitness
know.
thing that I talked about 12 and a half minutes ago that like diet is very important. Do you know
I
I've
get
actually
it.
fucking lost like 27 pounds? We're
I'm
up there.
proud of you.
We're up there now, bro.
Stop eating hummus in a movie theater. There's a time and place for hummus.
I
That's about it.
love carrots. I hate celery. I just can't help it, bro.
I love celery. I love carrots. I'm basically okay with all the vegetables that go along with hummus.
I will eat a
But I will tell you this:
celery and smothered
I
in
did
blue
not see it in
cheese.
IMAX. I love blue cheese. Don't you ever say a bad word about blue
I
cheese. I'll
fucking love blue.
go right through the
I don't know
screen
why
and strip you.
gorgonzola doesn't have its own fucking dipping sauce. I'll be honest. Just as good as blue cheese.
All blue cheese basically is like gorgonzola and ranch.
It's true.
It's kind of the same thing. But I didn't get a chance to see it in IMAX because where I am, there's only 2 fucking IMAXs, and the times didn't work out. So I saw it regular. But it was still epic. 4.5 out of 5 stars. 4.5.
Bro,
I think it definitely will be nominated for an Oscar. I don't think it'll win because movies like that never do. But I think it'll probably be
you know
nominated
what's
for a bunch of
weird?
shit.
Like I love James Cameron. I love everything James Cameron has put out. Like I bought the special edition version. I know the real version of special edition didn't happen, but when the Abyss re-dropped on like Amazon Instant Video, like I bought it fucking instantly.
Oh, it's on Hulu.
It doesn't matter. I bought it because I need to own
I
them.
ordered it on Amazon. I fucking pre-ordered it, and then they pushed the thing back, and they have no idea when they're sending it to me. I just canceled it.
I don't know what it is about Denis Villeneuve, but like I read an article that makes a lot of sense. And I think that despite like box office performance, I really truly think that Dune will be looked at in the future better than Avatar is now. Like it will,
100%.
it
It's
will
like this
be a better
generation of
movie.
Star Wars.
Yeah, like it's appreciated, even though Avatar is making more money or Avatar has made more money. But I don't know, bro. Just the realism behind like what he does, like all the just bro, it's an experience seeing one of his movies. Even
Hey,
though
everyone out there, just in case you're unaware, we rebranded this podcast a 4th time. This is the Denis Villeneuve podcast.
for
Where we
fan
just suck
fucking
on both of
favorites
his balls
of
for 1 hour.
flatworms,
Yeah.
bro.
So you had the hummus. So I'm guessing you didn't get the popcorn thing that looked like
A flashlight?
fucking. Yeah, I'm assuming you didn't get that.
No. I did not. It's gone.
I am gonna try and get my hands on the Ghost Trap. They're releasing a Ghost Trap one for the new Ghostbusters movie.
bro, that's fucking dope.
It's dope. I have the one from Scream 7. No, it's Scream 6. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say Scream 7 isn't a thing just yet. Nobody knows what it'll be, but it'll be. It's coming.
Dude,
it's becoming Jason, which is sad.
Dude, I don't know. I have an idea to completely reboot that entire thing where we don't need legacy characters. We can develop a whole new like 3-movie trilogy, and you can literally take it where it hasn't been before. Because I love those movies. I have a fucking Scream tattoo. My problem with those movies is they start off brutal and they get too jokey. And I
Mhm.
think that they need to lean more into the slasher part with like a Marvel movie, like Endgame, Infinity War. Like those movies are super serious, but there are some comedic parts, but you wouldn't say it's a comedy. And
Mhm.
I don't like that Scream gets so like comedic at times and so slapsticky. And
Super
I don't
meta,
know.
but you
I
like the
hope
meta part of it though, right?
yeah, I do. I just like I hate the third one because I feel like it's too meta. It's too like they're on like the
Bro,
third sequel and they're talking about rules of a trilogy, and it's like, bro, shut up.
I'm
Like the second one makes
I'm
sense
I'm
because
still on the
if that
third
really
one.
happened,
The third one's good because, like, if you look at the killers, right? Spoiler alert in case you're 47 and didn't see this movie, but I feel like
poppycock, that movie sucks.
a half brother whose mother got sexually assaulted and had a kid makes more sense than Billy's fucking mother and Timothy Oliphant.
Well, okay, you can argue that, but you can also say that the fact that like Gail Weathers wrote a book and somebody made it into a movie because it was like a thing that happened in real life in that universe, like that makes total sense. And then to make a movie about it and call it Stab, like that's fucking genius. But to like be on the third movie about the third movie within a movie, it's just I don't fucking know. I really don't know. It just I don't know. I'm
You know what?
hoping that
So much
someone
was
out
left
there like
on
will
a
let me write a script for a movie for Scream because I swear to God, like I could revive that fucking series.
you know, you have to say it,
And I'm
right?
not telling you what it is.
No, what the
No, I'm not
fuck? You
telling you.
can't not say it. Like this, like you
But
understand that,
then
like,
someone's gonna steal my idea.
but this is fucking when you upload this, like when eventually I upload this, it's proof of concept. Like on
Yeah,
Sunday,
but then
March
they'll just
17th.
rebrand it like instead of Scream, it'll be like Yell or something like that, and they'll take my fucking idea. Like, all right. So I'll pull the Joe Pesci from fucking Lethal Weapon. All right, okay.
Leo
Um,
gets.
whatever you need, Leo
Leo gets.
gets. You get it? Yeah. All right. So what I would do is you don't need any of the legacy characters at all. You can mention them in passing, but they don't need to be in this movie.
Fair.
And the way it'll launch a new trilogy is through the events of six, because it takes place in New York, and New York is such a high profile place. It's not even like it takes place in upstate New York, it takes place in Manhattan. Like they're going to like I think like NYU or like Columbia or whatever, they just don't name it that.
Mm.
But I think that over the years, this being so high profile with the internet and like the fourth one, the fifth one, and the sixth one, like being so like much more prevalent, that Ghostface almost becomes like a symbol for like almost like Hydra. Like it becomes like a symbol for like people who just have like just fucking animal urge to like murder. And you start seeing um
Like Purgish.
like Ghostface murders fucking pop up all over the country and people putting that shit online. The same way like the Riddler did in the Batman. Like when you find out at the end that he had this whole entire like syndicate of people helping him with flooding like Gotham, like, and that's what it is. Like it's not just contained to like Woodsboro or something else. It's like it becomes like an epidemic in like the United States of like just serial murders like happening, and like people like worshiping at like the altar of like Ghostface, and like throughout the thing you find out there's like a main like cult guy that's like the cult of like Ghostface, but like scary, not like a Chucky movie where it's like fucking silly, but
Yeah.
like actual like get down to like the grit of it. Like get a director like David Fincher or somebody to like really like, or like David Ayer or somebody that can like pull some like true crime grit out of it. You know what I'm saying? That's my idea. That's my pitch. So whoever owns the rights, fucking holla at me. I work cheap.
I think David Fincher would make
I'll
sense.
first draft
Like
it.
the guy that basically did Seven would 100% work if you're trying to like pull humor and like input chaos. Like I feel like that would actually fucking work really well. Who
And
would
dude, my first idea is that the first one is going to be like Infinity War. There's not going to be a final girl. There's not going to be a hero. It's the people that you're following. They're going to lose. Like they're not going to stop any of the kill. They're not going to be able to stop what's going on. To stop it, it has to progress, and it's one story told over 3 movies.
so
So You know what I'm
But
saying? So like for
how do you
once,
find
they're not
closure
going to
though
prevail.
across the trilogy? Like how do you bring that story to a close? Because like we're the generation of fucking lost endings of all things. So like
Well, I know you're thinking Enemy from Villeneuve.
I am thinking enemy. I'm also like I mentioned before, but like Rebecca's rewatching The Sopranos and no leaks, but like she has no fucking idea what she's in for at the end of that fucking show. She's never seen it before. But like
Yeah.
then we have other movies.
Allie did that like when she was pregnant.
Then we have other shows and shit that like we're never gonna get endings to because things get greenlit, they get shut down, and like endings are inconsequential almost. Like you could actually make a meta out of that. That the ending is irrelevant because you're almost lucky you got one. Game of
That's
Thrones,
what I'm saying. Like
all that shit.
I haven't mapped out a whole trilogy. I just know that if I was able to like write that and sell that they would turn it into a new trilogy anyway. It's just the way movies are now. But I mean, you'd have to come to a logical conclusion to it. But I mean, you're right. You can make a whole entire play on the fact that like the rules don't matter anymore. Like it's spoilers are all over the internet constantly when they weren't when the first movies came out. Like those being beholden to those movie rules and the do you like scary movies? Like you don't have to be beholden to that in this iteration because yes, you can work them in, but they don't have to be like the foundation. Because like you said, not everything has a clear cut. Like some things have like a more kind of like what do you think the ending was? What does it mean to you? How did you interpret this?
So very like
And
Inception
you can
style
go that
ending.
route. I mean, at least for the first one. I mean, you might want to have complete closure for the last one, but it needs to go somewhere different. You can't keep like calling the fucking Avengers to assemble like Courtney Cox and fucking Nev
Nev
Campbell to
Campbell.
come and fight Ghostface. Like, how many times is
Well,
this broad gonna fight Ghostface and win?
well, she's about to come back for the seventh one and fight Ghostface. We don't know if she's gonna
I
win,
know.
but she did.
I mean,
She's
you're gonna bring her
attached.
back to kill her. I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah, Kevin
she got the
Williamson. He's
money she was
directing
looking
it.
for, or else she wouldn't have come back. She definitely got the leading role again. I don't know how they're gonna drop off the last two movies of build up, but I mean
Well,
that's
I mean, they fired the main girl because of shit she said, and then Jenna Ortega dropped out because what I only can assume is if her sister's not going to be in it, then they would have had to tinker too much with the idea, and she's like, I don't want to be in this. It's going to suck.
but I love Jenna Ortega.
And
I
I'm
do.
sure you do.
I do. She's
I don't
very
know, man.
Wednesday Adams to me.
Well, I mean, she is.
She is, but she is very.
I don't know. Christina Ricci will always be
You ever see
Wednesday
that
Addams to
picture
me.
of Christina Ricci dressed up as Morticia? Google that if you fucking haven't.
It was the background on my phone for a while.
Good for you. I mean, well
It was
worth
the background on my phone for a while.
well worth it. But I don't know, man. I don't know
So,
what they have in store for Scream 7.
well, speaking of cults and fucking whack jobs, have you fucking heard any of this shit about fucking Aaron Rodgers and RFK Jr.?
I
Please
heard
tell me you've heard about this,
I heard they're gonna run the country and shut down TikTok.
bro. So, for anyone who doesn't have like a TV or a phone or a
Or a
radio,
fucking pulse at this point.
oh my god, dude, this fucking gas bag. I'm not even a Jets fan, but this fucking gas bag, Aaron Rodgers, this ayahuasca fucking smoking dipstick.
Bro,
He is like,
it's spiritual. He was on it's a journey. It's an ayahuasca journey.
yeah, this is a fucking journey too. Like, so let's just map.
Oh man.
They haven't had a good quarterback, the Jets, since Joe Namath. So
What happened to Vinny
he,
Testaverde?
yeah, he would. But that's the thing. The Jets always have like okay quarterbacks. Like they wasted the second overall pick on Zach Wilson because he threw a ball deep once in a combine. Great,
I
but
pulled that
anyway,
name out of my fucking ass, by the way.
I know. I seen that, and you were right. Good for you. Danny knows sports.
I know a thing about a single sport. I am so
So
not
they
sports like.
fucking trade for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers comes over to the Jets, takes a pay cut, so he could basically get his buddy signed, who shouldn't even be on a NFL roster because they're either washed up or they're bums. Jets are paying them. Don't even half of them don't even suit up. Then he goes and gets hurt on the fourth play. They got to play Zach Wilson, who's a bum. Jets suck once again. And now this idiot is like not. And all he has to do is come out and be like, yo, I'm not going to be the vice president of the United States. I'm not going to run with this guy. We have no shot of winning. He's independent, blah, 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 blah. And he's not. So either he's boys with this dude, RFK, and he's just like getting him some like much needed like press by having his name out there and him being ambiguous about it, or he really is just going to fuck the Jets and retire, and they're just going to be left holding his nuts because they have no quarterback. There's no one on their roster that can play quarterback if he retires.
Bro,
Zero.
maybe
Nobody.
he's just biding his time to see how far RFKJR, the acronym of all acronyms, fucking gets before he realizes, like, you know what? I'm throwing in the towel on football. Let me see how far I can go. I'll take this vice president shit.
But he's got to retire, and then they can't play. And then if he comes back, they reinstate the contract. Then they owe him money. Like, he's basically got that whole franchise by the fucking cajones, and they're so scared of him, dude. It's wild. It's really wild that we're living in a time where the Jets' current quarterback is trying to run for the vice presidency on an independent ticket for a guy who thinks that Sandy Hook was portrayed by child actors, and they're all still alive. This is an actual like world we live in. It's weird. And then he said this shit to someone at CNN, apparently.
He was on
Aaron Rodgers. He's like trying to like backpedal it. It's so weird.
No, RFK Jr. was on he was on Andrew Schultz's podcast, Brilliant Idiots, which, you know, a lot of inspiration for this, but like this guy, like just like you find like if you Googled like most obscure fucking conspiracy theories ever, this guy fucking rattled them off in bullet points, bro. Like
I don't doubt
he'll be the first to tell you that this country's fucked. It's been fucked. It's orchestrated fuckery. Like he does not pull fucking punches with where he thinks the direction of this country should go, will go, is going, and is about to land. It's wild.
Okay, but you like his own family like is like, yo, this dude is like a dangerous like wacko. Like, don't vote for my uncle, my cousin, my whatever. Like, and he's not gonna win. Like he has about the exact same chances if me and you ran. Like if we just started running tomorrow, he'd only get slightly more votes than we would.
I mean, there's a
Like,
chance for everything. I mean, Putin just won his 5th term.
Just to take votes away from the other two fucking idiots.
You know that, right?
Putin. Oh yeah, well dude, would you run against Putin? He'll just have you killed. You can't run against Putin. He'll have you whacked. Are you nuts?
Had several people whacked recently. But yeah, no, he won his 5th term.
Dude, I think every person that's like in jail for like saying something about him is dead.
Yeah, they all fucking just go missing, bro. It's like the reverse witness protection program.
Well, dude, you heard about the Boeing guy?
No, what the fuck happened?
One of the witnesses from Boeing, Boeing is under this like investigation because their planes are like falling out of the sky.
They found him
dead in his car,
bro.
While the trial is going on.
Somebody like
bang bang.
Yo, we're living
Boeing gang,
bro. We're living in a fucking like dramedy. Our life has become a fucking dramedy. Like no rules really fucking apply anymore. Like
Did you
think
watch
about
Loki?
it. I didn't, but hold on. I want to make a point real quick because Rebecca brought this up and like it backtracks for a second, but it does make a point. Yo, if TikTok gets shut down, think about all the influencers that can't file for unemployment because they've been making money off a fucking app.
Dude, the CEO said it's going to kill 300,000 jobs. I mean, I think he meant mostly like the people that work for them, but there's also the people that like do that. They have like 170 million users. I don't know, man. I think everything, dude. How many times have you like been sitting in bed with like your girlfriend or your wife and you like said something about like a skateboard and all of a sudden you go on Instagram and someone's trying to sell you a fucking skateboard? Like they're stealing your information anyway, so who fucking cares?
Rebecca gets ads for things that I look at. Like it doesn't make sense. Like we're not like I don't look on her phone. Like I'll just be looking up like a software or something for like work, and all of a sudden like the software will start pinging her on Instagram. Like, yo, check this out, free trial, sign up, demo, blah blah blah.
I have no love for TikTok. I don't use it, but I mean, like I said, like our fucking shit's getting stolen left, right, and sideways anyway.
Yo, Lana Rhoades died too.
I know.
Under mysterious circumstances. What was the word they used? They didn't say mysterious. They said like interest. I don't know. They said some word that leads us to believe like there's not like definitive foul play, but they're like, we're not gonna put a stamp on this bad boy just yet.
Dude, I know you said you didn't watch Loki, but it deals with the multiverse, and there's a thing called the sacred timeline. And I honestly think that in 2012, the world really did end as we know it, and all of our like collective consciousness got like transported off the sacred timeline, and now we're all living in like an alternate fucking universe. That's why everything is so fucking weird. Donald Trump was the president. He's trying to be like a king of America. Like all the school shootings, everyone's a conspiracy theorist now. Like all this stuff is just. It went from like none of this stuff being like common knowledge to like all of this stuff being so commonplace that we just kind of like laugh at it. I don't know. I'm not even trying to be like RFK Jr. with these things, but I don't know, man. Fucking minds, they knew. They fucking knew.
I think everything like
Well,
once 2012 happened, everything just flipped.
has gradually gotten weirder. We're on an alternate timeline of weird shit.
No, it's
And guess what? None of those timelines will be rich. So really, what are we doing?
none of those timelines. What?
Who are we rich? Like,
No, not I
fucking
mean
think.
not yet. It's inevitable. As long like I've come to realize if as long as you say yet at the end of anything that you're not currently attaining, you'll feel better about it. It's just yet. Always yet.
Are you becoming a fucking motivational speaker on me?
No, no. But I've learned that I need to fuck in my age, like my fucking job has reached fucking new heights of stress that I'd never thought I like when I was in my early 20s, I was capable of like dealing with more stress. Now I have less patience. Like I'm smarter about the stress, but I also have less patience to deal with it. So I've had to figure out a way to like compartmentalize. Like at this point, like I told Rebecca, I was like, if I'm going off the deep end, just drop a fucking safe word or something, fucking yank me back to reality because I'll go all over the place.
Spumoni.
Stuk. I found a new fucking Italian word that we were never raised with.
Oh, talk to me.
Gugats.
Yeah, Ugatso. Come on.
Bro, I didn't fucking
Who are you?
you like we talked about this somewhere in the first like 3 episodes. Like half of what you remember, like my family's Italian, your family's Italian American. Most of what I know about Italian American culture actually came from you
It
because
makes sense.
the Italians just don't do like it's the difference. Like I never knew about mozzarella because my family always says mozzarella because that's the way it's supposed to be pronounced.
Yeah, they say it like normal people.
Yeah, like so like most of the shit I literally learned from you, which is crazy because me being a first generation Italian, you think I should fucking know this shit, and I don't.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna let the cat out, or else she's gonna shit on my carpet. Right back.
Oh wow,
All
great.
right, so let me know when you want me to go.
Yo, so did the cat make it?
Yeah, no, I let her out.
Oh, good.
She's like fucking 19 years old this month, bro, or next month. Yeah, wild. I told you when me and Allie moved,
That cat
I had a
sleeps 24 and a
fucking
half hours a day.
dude. I had it. She does. She's never awake unless she's taking a shit. Like I don't even see her eat. But I had a 10-month-old baby and a fucking 18-year-old cat on a flight that was delayed 12 hours. Like, try feeding a baby 3 times in a fucking airport and
No,
a cat,
I don't know how to do those
and then the
things.
cat having shit in the carrier, and then cleaning a carrier while holding a cat in a public bathroom at Newark Airport. Ugatso. That's what the shit that was.
I feel like you might not have been the only one doing all that. I feel like I don't know. Some strange shit happens. I remember one time I was driving down to South Carolina and I stopped at the last rest stop in Jersey. And this was this is the weirdest thing. There was this kid.
And spent all your money on Marlboro Ultralights.
No, I bought
Did you
Pokemon
do
cards.
that?
No, there was this dude. Like I walked into the fucking bathroom. There's a dude at the urinal, pants and underwear around his ankles. He's
Wow.
at like he's not in a stall. He's at a
Was he
urinal.
old?
No, he was
A
like
lot of old men do that. It's weird.
he was like 25 and like he's just got his just ass out for the world to I don't know why he felt the need to just drop it all, bro.
I
Is
mean, are we sure he was all together there?
no, I didn't stick around to fucking find out. I fucking pissed
That
and
I'm surprised. That surprises me.
like, excuse me, what's your name? I'd like to get to know you better. I mean,
Oh god. dude. It's fucking dude. I remember that same day that I was fucking delayed all those hours. I saw this woman. She was falling asleep with her two kids. She was there in the airport for 42 hours. I was like, "Where are you going?" She's like, North Carolina." I was like, "Bitch, rent a car. You would have been there 30 hours ago.
Yeah, it's a 10-hour
Like,
drive from
stop
me.
waiting for this flight to fucking come along for 2 days.
Yeah, just
Just
rent
go
it. It's weird.
rent a car."
For
Yeah,
that, yeah, bro. South Carolina is 10 hours
yeah.
away. Like
I
North
don't know.
Carolina, depending on where you're going, is like 6 or 7. Like it's not even that big of a deal. But bro,
And she was coming back from Italy,
oh
so she was
god,
like jet lagged on top of it. Oh,
bro.
terrible.
Nobody
But
realizes how
yo, we
bad
got some.
custom,
We got some.
how
Oh
bad,
yeah, she needed to go get a bottle of duty free Don Julio and chug it. That's what she needed.
bro. When I went to Hawaii, like it was an 11-hour flight. It was an hour to get to the airport. It was another hour to rent the car, and then it was another hour to drive to the hotel. Bro, like
Yeah,
no, like I mean, it's great once you're there, but like, fuck, is that a process?
I'm still mad at you that all those times you went to Hawaii with work and not one time did you say, "Hey, come along." It could have been like that episode of Friends when they all go because of Ross making a speech in Hawaii or Bermuda or wherever the fuck they were.
I mean, every
Yeah.
sitcom went to Hawaii at least once, especially in the '90s. They all did.
Oh god.
But,
Yeah.
but Brody, I think it's time to wrap. I know you had some really good fucking people that you're looking to get on this thing now that we switched up some stuff. So
Yeah. So some
please
shit coming up.
enlighten.
April 7th. April 7th, we have another guest, a good buddy of ours from back home. New York real estate mogul, owns his own fucking brokerage. Frank Pimentel is gonna be coming on.
Yeah, one of the cool things about
Talking.
us backing out of like specifics is that like we really wanted to add guests, and I definitely commend you for doing this because you took the bull by the horns on this one. Very Ben Stiller, dodgeball style. But we have a lot of different things that we like to talk about. And I'm definitely like into business. You're into a lot of things, into sports and stuff like that. And I feel like the guests will kind of like Candy was really the inspiration for this. So like shout out Candy. Like
Shout out, bro.
she was
We
really
should
something
really.
else.
She invited us to the premiere in Lake Placid, New York. I think we should plan a weekend. Me, your wife, my wife. I think we should do that.
No, I think
You
that's
know.
cool. I want to take her up on that because she's 100% serious and I think she'd be a blast. And she's the type that'll
Yeah,
like introduce you to everybody there. Like she was even like, if you want to talk about business, like you should speak to this person. I'll text them, get them on your podcast. Like she's a good connector of people.
dude. She tried FaceTiming that woman from the guy and the woman from the soap operas. That like I wanted to like kind of meet that. That'd be really cool.
No, it's
Um,
so
yeah, no, I say we write a script and we float it to her.
yeah, just
What's the
like
worst that
not
can
even like
happen?
well actually what's a treatment? Isn't a treatment like a
Yes.
prescript or a treatment?
Yeah.
I think that would
Yeah.
work.
I
Couple
think
of
so.
five or 10 pages on like this is where the story should go. We could really fucking embellish on it, like whatever. Like this is what it would look like.
Yeah. I mean, she made that movie that started out on that radio show,
I
and they had
remember
an idea, and it came into something. I think we should give it a shot. So Frank's gonna come on. He's gonna talk about some real estate tips for people who are looking to invest, and like just what's going on with the real estate market now. You guys can nerd out over sales. He's a big Jets guy, so we'll talk about that.
you think he's voting?
I'm sure he is.
Is he voting for
I'm not,
Aaron?
not sure which way, but that's his business.
RFKJR
And then we
and
have
Mr. Rogers.
the 21st. We have Mr. Mark Cantu, who is a independent filmmaker. Does a lot of horror movies. He's working on a film called Grind right now. This is gonna be like big for us because not only is Mark gonna be on,
Yeah,
writer,
he's bringing
director,
Cass,
producer,
right?
he's bringing cast. He's bringing 4 cast members. So there's gonna be like a 5 or 6 person Zoom going right now. So we are gonna be balls to the wall with that. And he's another person we can float a script to. And at
Like, listen,
worst,
bro, like
they'll read it.
you're already in the
Yeah.
game. Just like take what we're doing and just make it happen.
Yeah. It's okay if you don't like it, but just read it. So we'll talk to Mr. Mark Cantu. That'll be the 21st of April. The 28th is my son's second birthday, so we will be taking a break on that day. I am working on getting a stand-up comedian for us, a New York stand-up comedian in May. Talking to a couple of tattoo artists I know to come on talk tattooing. Been reaching out to some former sports figures, seeing who's available. So we got some stuff in the pipeline. And I also want to talk next week the new Alien movie by Fede Alvarez, Romulus.
No, it's making waves. It's making
It
waves.
is making
I mean,
waves.
it's not like they gave it
And
back.
he somehow beat out Ridley Scott's fucking third prequel trilogy
Not a fucking
movie
surprise, bro.
and Neil Blomkamp too. I thought for sure Neil Blomkamp was gonna.
No, Neil got beat out by Ridley, and Ridley never made due on his fucking promise. And Neil has not made anything in like 7 years of worth. So Neil fucked himself. But he was gonna like basically retcon 3. Yeah, he was gonna say
4.
Yeah, as 4.
No, I think he was gonna retcon 3 because 4 takes place so far in the future. I don't think it would have mattered.
Yes, but
4 can still be conceivable.
Depends on if you believe in the butterfly effect or not.
I mean, honestly, dude, I just would have fucking made all of 3 a dream she had in hyperspace, and it starts with her waking up in hyperspace and like pounding on the glass.
It's also
because she had like a dream of her dying. Yeah, that's what I would have did. But all right, bro, I'm gonna go put my son to sleep. It's been a pleasure doing this twice with you today.
No, it's cool. I like the night pod. I mean, I like the day pod too, but like I'm all about the night pod. It's good lighting.
We can do night pods.
I spent money on all this lighting.
I know. I gotta get it set up, dude. I'm working. I've actually been doing all of this on an iPad mini, and the fact that it's even like remotely watchable is a shock in of itself. I'm actually getting a Surface Pro 9. I just have to like just go and get it.
No, it's dope. But, I need to pick up a new monitor, but no,
I need a microphone. I need a light. So any suggestions you have,
I will send them your way.
Write in the comments.
I'm not gonna lie. I see the new.
Now I can't spend $1 million. So.
The MacBook Pro with the M3 chip, though. I'm not gonna lie. It might happen.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I love Macs, and I usually hate Windows, but I feel like the Surface is like a good medium because I feel like a lot of things work better on Windows because they're designed with Windows in mind.
Bro,
and Mac is like a patch through.
My whole work life is fucking Microsoft everything, Authenticator, fucking OneDrive. Like I literally have it all now. So
you know what's insane? Mac is like Android when it comes to computers.
Yeah.
Everything has to be patched from something else to work on Mac, whereas like everything has to be patched on Android to work on Android.
Well, that's because Apple wants to play. You know what? If Apple just put some more fucking money into like not just the hardware but the software, things would be different. But like the average person is not spending $2,500 on a laptop and then the $400 on an app to do something. Editing. Like it's just not going to happen. You'd rather just download the fucking file from some God know like wherever, figure it out. But
did you hear Tim Cook had to take a pay cut to $65 million this year?
What? Oh, poor guy, man. Why? Lack of performance?
I don't remember exactly what the circumstance was, but I think that was it.
Do you know
I think
Steve Jobs'
take a little pay cut.
Salary was $1 per year.
Well, yeah, he was a bajillionaire.
Yeah,
he fucking owned Apple.
Him and Musk, they go based on like stock, so they technically don't earn anything. So,
right.
And they borrow against.
Dude, have you seen?
They borrow against their stocks, so that's how they win.
Have you seen the Tesla $100,000 truck?
No, the Cybertruck.
I've seen a couple down here in Florida.
I've yet to see one, but I think this kid I know is looking to buy one. So we never know.
I am going to take a picture of one next time I saw you. Next time I see one, I will send it to you. It's fucking weird looking. It looks like RoboCop.
I mean, we're in that time. I think we've now aligned with the years and we've caught up to all our future-based films, except Dune, which is year like 10,191.
I forget what movie I was watching recently. It takes place in 2017. And like when we were kids, it was like 40 years in the future.
I remember I used to be so worried about August 29th, 1997.
Yeah, well,
I used to be terrified of that date because I was watching it in 1992. So,
yeah, that was probably the first time the sacred timeline went to shit. Watch Loki.
Catch you at home.